You know, the news of the day. So usually crime sort of oriented. This week there were a couple of, I think this week there were a couple of police pursuits. And I was at the scene of the pursuits. We had a couple of missing divers in Niagara Falls. We had a couple of missing dinghy riders. A couple of girls, teenagers from Collingwood got on a dinghy and went missing on Georgian Bay for more than 2 days, 2 nights.
Did they find them?
And I interviewed them. I found them. After they were found, it was like this great survivor story.
Well, did they get like stuck on like a rock in the middle of the lake or something like that?
Well, yeah. Originally, they were just out suntanning on this dinghy, this rubber raft.
Okay.
And then they lost track of time, and they couldn't see the shore. They didn't have anything with them, and they spent 2 nights on Georgian Bay until they hit a rock, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I mean, they didn't have sunscreen. They didn't have life jackets, and
Were
they had
baked?
they were sun-stroked and then hypothermic at the same time.
Oh my god.
So those are the kind of stories I do.
What's the like craziest story that you had to do?
I think my favorite all-time opportunity, and you could only get this if you're a member of the media, is the year of 9/11. I went up with the U.S. Air Force in an F-16,
Oh,
and I pulled 9 Gs.
I'm so jealous.
You remember that? Describe 9 Gs.
Well, I didn't know what it was. Like they said, "Are you interested in? Are you afraid of heights?" And I said no. And they said, "Are you into G-forces?" And I was thinking, like, do you have a problem with G-forces? And I was thinking, like, what does that stand for? Gucci or I don't know. It sounds good. And I really had no idea until I'm at the airport and they've got me in a G suit and they say, okay, we're going to tell you how to release if there's a crash into Lake Ontario. And I was thinking, what do you mean?
You mean eject from the plane?
Eject.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
So that was pretty cool. I mean, that was the first time the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds had been in Canada, and the last. Well, they don't come now because they have to circle the White House and do reconnaissance and like important stuff with terrorists and.
They have to waste fuel by
fighting the war,
flying around the White House doing patrols. Do you travel in helicopter a lot?
Last time I was in the helicopter was about a month ago. We went up to look for marijuana fields.
Woohoo!
That were people, smart farmers. They go into corn crops, and the farmers go in, they plant their corn, they leave, and they don't come back till the harvest. So what smart marijuana farmers do is they go into these cornfields in the middle, they cut out a swath, they put in their weed, and then they take it out before the corn farmer comes back. And the corn farmer arrives back in October, and he says, like, where's my corn? In the meantime, but police are on to these guys. So they fly in the helicopter and the police chopper, and they can see it from above.
They also give off a lot of heat, so you can infrared it too.
Does it? I think.
Yeah.
It
Yes,
gives off
it
a lot
does.
of heat.
In Afghanistan, the Taliban were hiding in the marijuana fields, and because they give off so much heat, you couldn't detect the body heat, so it was perfect camouflage for them. The Canadian Army was trying to burn down but it's green, so it wasn't working because it doesn't burn real easy until it's dry. So that was kind of interesting.
So being up in the chopper is tons
terrorists
of
are
fun.
using marijuana to hide from the Canadian Secret Army police.
I wrote that down, by the way, the weed and the cornfield. Where else is a good place to hide weed?
Well, that same day, the reason we did it that day is because someone had been hiding weed in a piece of Crown land. It was just a,
Crown land.
yeah, I mean, anywhere that, I guess you could grow this stuff anywhere. I'm not an expert, but.
Rumors have it, grows anywhere like a weed.
Yeah. So that's where I think now the marijuana guys are getting out of the corn crops because they know, what, they're onto us. So.
They always reinvent themselves though. Or they try stuff that like they caught on to like 25 years ago and just kind of recycle it different ways.
I'd like to hear more about the helicopter. You get up in the chopper very often? Because I go every week, right? So.
Well, we have a helicopter that flies every day, but
you don't actually go up.
I only go up once in a while, once in a blue.
Do you like it though?
How is it?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, you can, especially over the bridle path, you can see these huge homes, and let's say there's a kid in a pool who's drowned. I mean, you can really get a point of view. Or if there's a police blockade and you can't get in, you can really, it really helps get a good shot that you
It'd be
can't
cool to
see from the
chase
ground.
traffic in a car.
It's cool to be up over the 401 when there's a crash and you can see the backup.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And in either direction, and you're
Frightening.
hovering over it, and
Wow.
you know you just can feel the anger coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not stuck in that, Rick.
It's
And
keeping you up in the sky.
yeah, you can
that
just hover
energy.
and you can leave, but everyone else is like, take me, take me.
So what made you get into being a reporter? Was it like
I think it was I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I was.
Was it like
to
an
quote my dad, I
inspiration?
was floundering after university, right? And
Did you study like
and then I
journalism?
went, yeah. Then I started
Yeah.
volunteering at the cable station, and then I thought this is like I like being part of a crew and a team, and so then I went to I did a 2-year degree at a technical college in Edmonton.
Cool.
After
How's
university.
Edmonton?
And you,
Edmonton is
and
great.
you interned as well, right? That's what you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to do internships.
You got to do it. Eh?
The folks I
Working
meet
for
from
nothing.
Edmonton are always real pleasant.
There's a bit of a pack mentality because you have to live through a cold winter. So everyone, people are really supportive that we're all in this together.
Did you not go to school in Montreal too?
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
McGill. Anyone here go to McGill?
No,
No?
but I know about it, and I've driven my car through
I've
it.
heard of it.
It's great school. Hard to focus. I was 17 when I started, so which meant that basically you can drink and
Yeah,
have a
it's-
great time, and there's no question about getting into a bar. So it's very distracting when you're supposed to be studying.
They're always having fun in Montreal.
Yeah, I'll never forget my first year going to see the Bare Naked Ladies. And it was the night before an exam, but they were really big at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day I was in the exam and I was having a tough time because I hadn't studied. And I started to hear one of the songs. I'm thinking, oh my, I can't focus. And it turns out they were having a free concert on the campus. So if I just skipped the concert, studied, done well in the exam, and then I could have seen them for free.
damn?
Oh.
So I failed the exam, I'm sure, but I got to see the Bare Naked Ladies twice.
Was that like Lovers in the Dangerous Time?
Yeah, it was all that great stuff.
Okay.
Apparently they're still together.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah.
So
Well, they
then-
kind of made it big in the States a few years ago, right? So they
And
had to start over.
They're
With that
kind of
chicken
popular
sandwich.
in Europe too, in some places.
You should get them on the show.
No,
Yeah,
There you go.
They'd probably
Do
do
that
it.
for us.
Well, what? A couple of them are from Toronto. I don't know. But I'm
One
sure
of the
they-
guys comes and eats at Susser once in a while. But I never really knew that he was one of them until someone mentioned it to me. He's a cool guy. I tricked him. I had him thinking I had a twin brother. No, I was serving them in white, and then later on in the night I was in a Gucci tie and a black shirt at the door, and one of the waiters said, "Yeah, that guy up there is his twin brother." Right? And on his way out, I was like, "Yeah, I have a twin brother." And good night. And I think he totally bought it.
Oh my god.
Two shots.
So as a reporter, do you get to ask a lot of hard-hitting questions?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it depends on. I get to ask every question, which eventually I get to the hard ones.
What's your favorite question?
What's your favorite question?
That's a tough one.
Do you have writers, or do you make up your own questions?
No, you just make up your own questions. You're on the spot. You're, this week I was doing a story on police pursuits, and it was the second police pursuit in 2 days.
Yeah.
The first one, a 17-year-old was killed, and the second one, a couple of the guys were injured. It was like a 30-kilometer pursuit. And so I was interviewing the chief of police,
Yeah.
and I know him pretty well, and you're asking him. I mean, you have the neat thing is you get to talk to pretty big people, like important people, and say, look, is it really worth it for the the safety of other people? And at the same time, there was a murder-suicide across the street from the police station, and I'm sort of asking him off the record, like what really happened there. And it's sort of the neat thing is that you have access to the chief of police, the mayor, and a lot of people would love to be able to have that conversation. But you're asking the questions that maybe Chuck would ask, which would be what?
Do you get a lot of? What would I?
What would
ask?
you ask the chief if you could talk to him?
Oh, I don't know. Something would have to happen, and I'd have to do it, and I'd have to talk to him.
Yeah, I probably I don't know what I'd ask him. I'd probably ask him about like what he does for fun. What do you do for fun, Catherine?
Oh gosh, what do I do for fun? I just, yeah, like I have to unwind. I park the car and I hang out on Queen Street, which is where I live, and I just suck in the neighborhood and get coffee and chill. Like I want to unwind. And downtown Toronto is sort of my hood, right?
It's nice to get a coffee, you know, a nice coffee, an espresso or something, Americano. You know,
That's how I want.
sit outside if you can.
On a day like today.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
I don't think we learned about the real Catherine there, Catherine. I mean, you're just so taken with that. What do you really do for fun?
Well, I know you like to dine.
Dining is good, yeah.
I mean, eating's good.
Eating's good. Hanging out with friends. I love to work out.
What about dancing?
You know what? Yeah,
A couple wines maybe?
I don't like getting hungover anymore, so I don't
Yeah.
party like I used to.
Fair enough.
But,
Yeah.
you know, the next morning is ugly.
What time? You have to get up early, right?
No,
Every day?
I have
No?
a really cushy shift.
Yeah?
10:30.
10:30.
That's not that early, right?
No,
Oh, really? That's good.
awesome, man.
Yeah, you can sleep until 9.
I never set my alarm.
No?
So I have a pretty, I never work weekends anymore.
That's awesome.
So it's, yeah, life is good.
Do you have any secret talents?
Um, I'm just really good at finding finding some like a scavenger hunt. If you ever do
Yeah, I love
scavenger
that.
hunts,
I love
that's
it.
what I do
Fun.
every day. It's like connecting the dots. So I love the scavenger hunt. Finding, let's say I have to find who's the person that was in that car that rolled over.
You find that they
Give me
sometimes
4
have to
hours.
piece together the
Oh,
truth?
it's really cool.
Is it, you know what I mean? Like you get all these different aspects.
Yeah,
to
little
your story.
pieces, and you have to bring them together.
You find what is the real truth in what every one of those persons said,
Right.
and then you have the truth. It's like kind of like Sherlock Holmes.
I go on a lot of goose chases that end up nothing. Like this week, I was told to go to this place, totally wrong. Talked to 100 people at that place. That was a wasted hour, but that was okay. You know, start over, go back to the beginning, and start a new. Like that's fun for me.
Yeah. Now, when you talk to all the big people, all the important people, and ask all the tough questions, and they respect that, and they have to answer your questions, right?
No, they don't.
No, sometimes they jump around and
Politicians,
don't really answer
like
them. Are you
politicians, they
serious?
just,
Politicians
speak
wouldn't
around.
answer the
No,
question
imagine.
directly.
Does anybody ever get like angry?
When you have a camera rolling like that, and someone gets angry, then you have evidence. So if they hit the camera, you know that's assault.
Right.
So you have a bit of, like a camera is, like Big Brother is watching, right? Even any camera now, there are cameras everywhere, so
Oh, yeah.
you gotta be careful what you say.
They could find you from the satellite up in the sky, like where you're sitting if they really want to, like on 24.
Who can find you?
They.
CIA?
Whoever they are.
They. We know who they are.
The Shriners.
Who's watching us?
That's a mystery too.
George Bush is
I don't know, I
watching
don't
us.
see anybody.
I think we should do like
A song?
Yeah, a music break.
Yeah, do a song
and
and-
we'll be back with more.
With more.
Catherine McDonald.